So this morning I've taken it upon myself to finish off this area, sanding, sealing, painting, priming, etc, etc, and yeah, that should be finished by the end of the day. So 2 coats of primer later, and I'm just waiting for it to dry before I put the same grey that's over there on top of here, and should be good. Drainage works being done outside still. We're looking to cast this hopefully within the next 2 days once we get everything right, including the angle and all the wiring. And that way we can get all the sinks and kitchen, shower, everything else flowing into that drain and down to the ravine. Vamonos. The concrete is mixing, the wire is set, board is set. I'm going to look to cast this drain today. Hopefully the weather holds out on us and we can start isolating the rainwater and all other water down into the box drain over there and then off the property with everything else. So that's the base of the drain being cast in, as you can see. We're going to have to stretch the wood again tomorrow to cast the sides, well the side, just to make sure there's an exit on the out. 2 coats of the sea grey or whatever from Penta later, and they're all matched up to continue the flow. So the base for the drain is cast and we've put steel in so we can raise up a little lip on the sides so all the rainwater and pretty much everything else will flow down into the sump and then down into the box drain into the ravine and out of here. No problems for us. Or at least so we hope. So today steel is being set up for the side wall and for the boxing we put up for us to cast the side of the drain to again funnel all the water down into the box drain and into the ravine. Dry season, so we had the tools down for a little bit, so everybody's taking a 5 while the rain blows over hopefully. Still doing the boxing and steel work. Yep, casting in the rain. So with the weather giving us a break, we're breaking down the boards and we're going to stretch the concrete for the drain to finish off the other side and what we didn't cast yesterday because of the rain. So that's the plan at least. Alright, so a little bit more cement needs to be mixed up and we'll finish casting this side of the box drain. We've also leveled off there and cut a hole so it will flow into the sump. And later on I'm going to have to connect the PVC and whatnot to get rid of all the other water. So now that the sides of the drain have been cast and everything's organized to flow downhill, we're working on the insulation on the porch roof over there. So yeah, that's a double-sided all-foil insulation that we've got up on just under half of the roof so far. We're going to try to finish off the rest of it tomorrow depending on how the workflow goes. You know, everything goes, it's hectic and things change all the time. We have a guest over right now having a few drinks, so you know that goes as well. So today we're breaking down the boxing for the drain, cleaning up the yard a little bit and waiting for the roof to heat up so we can start sticking up the insulation, because it has to be applied on the insulation and on the roof for it to adhere properly, and it has to be hot of course for it to stick and to stay. So yesterday we finished casting the drain and everything to do with it. We've got it all right with the angle flowing down to the box drain. We started filling in today after moving all the wood and all the scraps. So we backfilled a little bit, cleaned up the area so cutting the grass will be nice and easy. And yeah, that's been this morning. Yeah, this is the insulation going up to help keep the heat out, which it already is working immensely. It works really good. You have to put glue on both sides, the insulation and the ceiling first, then adhere them once it cools and dries a little bit. But it works, it really does. Yeah, so that's more double-sided insulation going up. That immensely helps cut the heat. It works really, really well. I would say up to 9, maybe even 10 degrees difference. Right, so while waiting on the roof to heat up so we could use the glue to adhere the insulation, we've been cleaning up the pipes and whatnot so we could paint it with the anti-corrosive paint. Preparing to put up the last piece of insulation, putting glue on both the roof and on the insulation, letting it dry for a little bit before we put it up, and sticking it to the roof, and that's what's keeping the temperature down immensely as compared to before. Plus condensation is a lot lower as well. So that's the roll of insulation and the glue we're using to adhere to the roof. The sheet has been painted in the glue. It will then go up on top here, adhere to the roof perfectly, giving us at least 8 to 10 degrees cooling. So the G-Works welding plant that we've been using for the longest while and basically helped finish the inside of the house didn't want to start today, so we played with it a little bit and still no luck. Hopefully the warranty is still valid. The plan was to do the guttering on the walkway and porch and fabricate little brackets ourselves that would be stronger than the plastic cheap brackets, but again the plan's down. So we switched to a different plan, which was cleaning up the driveway area and getting it ready for wire and leveling to cast so other vehicles could get in other than my pickup. So the final section of porch insulation has gone up since I got glue, thankfully, from the 4th store, and we're done insulating the porch. Now it's just the walkway. So now we have a completed insulation along the entire walkway and the entire porch. It's covered, so it's a lot cooler now, midday, afternoon. We don't have to worry about the temperature changes as much, and condensation, as I said before, has reduced drastically, if not entirely. Cleaning up the driveway so we could cast during the week, hopefully. The cars and my pickup will get down easier and get out easier in rainy season. So my old neighbor lent us this welding plant from his brother, and it's working pretty good. Handling pretty much all the LH rods and everything else we need to burn so far. So we'll look into the guttering after this, and yeah, we should be good to go after today with any rain and water issues coming down the roof. So I'm going to work on my little bonsai stand / display that I can move around the yard wherever I want. I've been cutting these pieces to size so far, and well, that's the plan. I'm going to continue cutting more pipe and then practice my welding, because I'm not a very good welder right now. So first mock-up of all the parts that I've cut out of galvanized pipe to make the bonsai display and or stand, and yeah, it's lining up okay, so let's try this thing out. So I just need to get a load of sand so we can level off the driveway, and that way I can start prepping the wire and steel to cast for the car and the pickup to easily get in and out even in rainy season. That's the plan at least. So we're almost done fabricating all the brackets for the guttering, and I've been cutting the grass in the meantime, so it's nice and clean again. We need to do more cleaning up in the backyard, of course, but that's how it goes. This is a different angle of the fabrication for the brackets for the guttering. It's going to look like that when it's done. Just painted and sealed with anti-corrosive. So as I expected, my welding skills are not up to par. I actually melted a piece of the pipe while trying to arc and liquid weld, as the guy was saying. But basically this is the plan I had in my head, and a little imagination and some capability, some excess pipe, and we've got a bonsai stand slash plant stand. So this is what the driveway and slip into the driveway yard looks like, because we have to spread the sand, buy some material, organize the concrete it. Repurpose the old railing from the steps by the porch to here, just assist the older heads getting up and down the staircase. Also solidified down below so it wouldn't be as much of a flex when people walk up. So that'll be a nice help for people, I guess. And yeah, that's how things are looking now. So now that the scaffolding is built and we're able to use it to get the altitude or the height that we need to put in the brackets for the guttering, we can work on the angle to get the water flowing from over there to over here and then down into this drain when we put the pipe and everything. So just for a different angle of the scaffolding and of the bracket up on the roof, just to get the angle right, of course, for the other bracket and for the tubes to flow out. So we're installing the first length of guttering in the custom made brackets that have been welded on to the edge. As you can see, we have to adjust the angle a little bit more, but yeah, no safety harnesses required. Everyone here seems to land on their feet. So they're just for a once over of the garage driveway area as we continue cleaning up the slip into the driveway to get ready to cast it and get all the parking set up and organized. Yeah, that's the outside of the back of the house. So this is the Oliver master bathroom shelf, coated in 1 coat of stain, 2 coats of protection because it had to be adjusted for size and whatnot. That will go up later on. Otherwise, I put the bonsai outside on the stand temporarily until we finish that and have some space and time again. So yeah, that's some guttering installed on the custom made brackets on the western side of the house facing north. And we're looking to round off the furthest end and then put the down tube so we can drain into the concrete drain we built and then down to the ravine. Budman just doing his thing. Driveway is being leveled and flattened. That way we can cast it sometime soon, I hope. All depends on the funds going towards the driveway and the roof and whatnot. So not working on a Saturday because we have a wedding to go to today, so we're just walking in the backyard, making sure there's no dead manico or anything else from the dogs last night as they were playing while we were liming. Yeah. So Port of Spain, I guess it is, in another few hours. So more of the same backyard and a little bit of the porch and house, plus the scraped flat driveway area that will be cast hopefully sometime next week once we figure everything out with material and whatnot. Water's been running properly down to the ravine as we intended. Guttering is up and everything else seems to be working fine. Evenings in the container house, just relaxing after a day of fabrication and fun. You know how it goes. So home today, doing some small projects, making some adjustments. This is the master bathroom ledge above the sink. We planed the wood, we basically stained it, sealed it again, and I just minus some little brackets that we had on there. Painted over what's going to be visible, and I'm going to bolt it down in a second. So the wooden ledge is affixed to the mirror stand and everything, and got it all set up and screwed up there. So that's one more thing complete off the list. So finally, after years of waiting to actually hand pick my own chimet off of my own tree, I actually get to pick 2 of them. 1 and 2 up there. And there's my chimet. And I guess that might have been a caiman in the ravine running, or some kind of big lizard. Something got startled. So again, small projects were done today, such as putting up more hammock hooks on the other side of the porch, cleaning up the porch a little bit to get ready for staining and cleaning, getting the mailbox ready to plant up on top of the hill, fixing the barbecue because the handle was gone through, cleaning up the yard a little bit, still need to move the wood and a few more plants, but yeah. So today's missions, as we're cleaning up and starting to wind down a little bit until the driveway gets cast, was reinforcing this piece of fence so the dogs won't be able to escape when the other dogs come around. Also, we touched up a little weld here and there to strengthen below and painted up with some anti-corrosive paint like the rest of the house. And there it is, of course, and the dogs. So while planning out the casting of this slipway into the driveway and giving access to the rest of the house, I realized I needed to take a little pause for cause and get some materials together so we can actually cast it properly in time before rainy season, of course. After doing some estimations, I'll get the materials sometime next week and start. Barbecue fixed, and sideline project of kayak solo skiff holder for underneath the house is being fabricated, so that's something different. So these are the 3 fabricated brackets to hold the kayaks, plural, or, and when it happens, a solo skiff once I build it and have that up and running. So yeah. So other than stocking up on cement, steel, BRC wire, so we can cast this whole section into the driveway, nothing else really was done. Maybe we did a little bit of outside work on the kayak area and stuff. So that's the old boy that hasn't seen any water in a long time. And this is our new solo skiff kayak holder area underneath here. So we'll be able to hold a solo skiff or 3 kayaks depending. That's the intention. So today's mission is to cast a large piece of our driveway slip into the driveway and extending the road further out towards the other lot. And the kayak in its rightful place underneath the house with lots and lots of space to store our other projects later on. Also feels like a nice day to do some yard care. Maybe move some of that wooden pile that needs to burn, well, partly. Cut up some grass and clean up otherwise. Alright, so first section, they slip into the driveway and or road extension, driveway, whatever you want to call it, is being wired and tied together so it'll be nice and solid and be able to support up to a fully loaded dump truck like we did before. So hopefully we have enough material to stretch everything. Steel tied, wire tied, just adding some more wire to give it some more strength before we cast cement after lunch. But yeah, that's part of the slip into the driveway. Still some edging to be done, but the majority of the yard has been cut. It took all of about an hour and 10 minutes to do with the lawnmower. Thank God I've got a lawnmower now rather than the weed whacker. Nice and clean. Sideline project, stabilizing the walkway so there's no vibration when people are walking up and down, especially when the dogs are running on it. You can feel it on the porch a little bit. Other than that, we had to lock off for a little while until tomorrow when we'll cast the first set of concrete. And I think we're still in good time to complete the entire thing by Friday, but you never know if the weather doesn't give out like today. So finally we're going to cast this morning, cast that section. The dogs have to get locked up. And of course I've decided to give myself a nice thumb injury today. More cement for the driveway. Well, at least the bonsai are getting watered, but the concrete isn't doing so well in the rain and can't do anything with this amount of water falling. So this is what happens when you cast and it starts to rain and the cement gets washed away from the rocks, so we just had to mix a little bit more and strengthen it up again. But yeah, on to the next section. So lunch break, we had to cover up some of the concrete while it's getting wet because of the rain on and off. But we're supposed to get a break in the weather, so we should be able to continue and get this thing casted and then tie some more steel for tomorrow's casting. At least that's what I'm hoping for the plan for the rest of the day. So this is the first segment of the driveway, slip into driveway, etc. road extension that has been cast so far. Of course the weather is not very clement today, and I'm just hoping it doesn't rain before we start to set it a little bit, and well, hopefully we don't have to cast over anything. Different angle from a different side of the yard, of course. This is the other lot at the far end, and I just came to get some pomerac off the tree to see what's up. Looks like another break in the weather for a little bit, so after we finish the majority of the concrete, we're going to tie some more steel, get that ready for casting tomorrow for the next extension. Just got another delivery of 4 yards of gravel to complete the rest of the casting. Thanks to the guy. And more steel and wire going down, being tied to prepare for more casting. So steel tied, BRC tied to the steel, everything's all set up for tomorrow. We just have to break the wood and move it over, so we'll be able to start casting. So yesterday's concrete work, and the board has been stretched, so today's casting will be here. Gravel is being shoveled out, and that's the plan. And the casting of the cement has begun. We've stretched the wire to complete the entire section one time. I'm not sure if we're going to stretch the cement for the entire area because we also have to go above. More gravel for the second cast of the day to complete this section of the driveway. Slip into the driveway. So this is yesterday's cement as comparison to today's cement that is being poured and cast. This section before tomorrow's wire and cement. Hopefully also some wire for above and cement for above to lock everything together. Just finishing the casting of the area for the rest of the day. Alright, so far this is what we've cast for the slip into driveway. We're just running out the excess cement now before tomorrow's final cast for there. So I do intend to cast the rest of this area with a mild amount of cement and just some BRC, in case anyone's wondering, because I want to make it parkable and turn around for most cars and trucks. So today's plan is to cast the final slip and driveway extension to allow us to cross the drain. If we have excess material, we'll cast on top a little bit as well. So this is what happens when we run out of gravel and cement. We still have a nice big patch to fill up. That's going to take about a yard, so hopefully the truck will come soon, deliver another 4 yards. I already got the cement, so once we do that, we'll mix it up, finish off this section finally, and yeah, we'll move on later next week or something. And more gravel arrives. So just like that, all the concrete has been mixed, laid, and final piece of wood is being put down with some excess wire just to lock it all together. So this slip has been cast into the driveway, the extension of the road has been cast. We just have to pause again to get ourselves together and plan out the next step of the project. Have a little bit of drainage to do, have some more casting to do up here for the cars and everything, so we'll have a big turning around area, secure that wall a little bit for my neighbour to make sure that doesn't fall, and yeah, we're almost done cleaning up the section of the house, so hopefully it's just the roof again and we'll be done. So setting up for the evening line with some family and friends. That's the pile of wood over there that has to become the big bonfire, maybe next week sometime. Did a little clean up on the porch, and of course we've casted most of the slip, well, let's just say we've casted all the slip and road extension. So next week is material for up there, and hopefully we can cast and solid up that area as well. So today has been a gardening day, just doing minor cleanup with the bonsai and planting some fruit trees in the yard. So here's just a quick overview of what I've got here going with the bonsai. Everybody's coming back to life finally after a bad dry spell, and thankfully one of my friends took care of the plants while I was busy building everything else. It goes with them. Here, home. So I planted some hybrid sugar apples, a West African nut tree or something like that, penny piece, fat pork, and some lilies. So Saturday, and we're not doing any work, we're entertaining some family in a bit, so I'll do a little walk through quickly as everything is nice and clean. So open plan, living, kitchen, porch with Marsha on it, taking a cool time, just giving us a wave. Entertainment area, of course, doggies strolling behind me and then messing up the floor. Out on the porch a little bit. Still a little messy here because I have to clean up. Barbecue getting ready. So master bedroom. Let's say we have guests coming over, so everything's laid out so they can inspect and see what's been going on, what's done, how things are. Master bathroom isn't 100% clean, but we did our best for today. This bedroom. Yes, bathroom.